All right, I'm going to start with vows. Let's pull at each other's stitches across our raw old wounds until we have enough thread to bind each other's wrists together. Let's promise to file each other's teeth and nails, to feed each other Xanax when the beasts want to attack. Let's slaughter the animals in us, but keep the aliens. Make a home as strange as a UFO, and then I'll take you furless, clawless, fangless, and not of this earth. I'll pledge to love you until we're calloused and sore. Let's vow to coast for a long time, stop to hover here or there with momentary grace, hearts flitting like hummingbirds at feeders, but mostly, let's be silly children with their pockets full of posies, or trapeze artists twisting, contorting, and trusting, or fighter planes taxiing a runway around and around, creating cyclones of gusts until nauseous. Then let's stop, abrupt as a jerky fair ride, tumble away, dizzy, disoriented, netless. When it's over, I swear I'll take off, fling myself at the sky until our home shrinks into a Monopoly piece, until the land becomes a patchwork quilt, until you are no more than a mere insect, until it all turns to white. This one is called Cocky Desire. Like all the men I've dated, okay. Cocky Desire. On a billboard, I see a woman pout her perfect pink lips around a straw. And then the Abercrombie kids, oiled and half naked, flaunt cocky desire, lip-teasing each other with glossed limbs. These images expect to force drivers to lurch across intersections, zigzag through stoplights, and smash minivans. Instead, asphalt steams its dismal mirage, causing buildings to shift and sway in heat. No one is moved, and I am a passive passenger, fresh from a young man's arms, his muscles ripe with wayward want, his hands probing between my legs. He never touched the back of my neck like the kids in the ad, but he looked just like these billboard men, staring at me with humdrum come-ons. He sought contrived intimacy, pleading, "Tell me, whose is it? Say it's mine." Of course, I did, stroking his back just like the girl with her straw, his tawdry flesh towering over me in bed, huge as heaven. All these people on the train, each one alone in their reverie as we break and break towards home, sit politely, unmoved by the rapturous strangers that parade across our peripheries, a kaleidoscopic orgy of eyes and torsos and mouths, dumb with beauty. This is called The Dark. Summertime, and all I want is to marry the darkness, to take you outside and let the stars beat on our backs like hail. Every night you let me map my rage on your chest with my fingernails, while we turn in bed, raking each other like hot coals. Will you stay with me in bed tonight? You always leave, you ask. For a moment, those words make me feel as tender as the yawning of a summer sunrise through my window. But I'm not that kind. I'm the one that snaps the shades shut and burrows myself away in the light. I don't want to be too exposed. Anyway, you never flinch when I leave you, your face smooth as marble, innocent, as if every night we are born again and the shadows cradle us like wombs. Listen to them cooing and singing with a chorus of crickets and frogs. In the dark, we are brand new, living only by selfish instinct, calling out for our needs. In the dark, we don't even have names. Maybe you'll come back. I waited until you left, then poured another drink and strip-teased for the moon, because I didn't need a shield anymore. Sometimes I try to feel things without words, but I always end up naked. Floating, floating on my back in the pool, I'm surprised how the sky is not your skin. I've been aching to love something, so I give it all to this crooked tree, hovering its claws over my body. It stops short of attack, which is more than I can say for any man. Even when you were surrendering, I felt like you were starting a war. The sex we long for most will slaughter us. Obsession cracks me like a geode, and I sparkle even as I sink. Of course, you're not coming back. When the next man enters me, I'll finally cast off my love like a deformed, undeveloped bastard fetus. I'll kiss its forehead. I'll walk away for good. Black ice. There were days of love, days strung together like fake pearls that adorned me with their luster, that I caressed every morning. Each bead a moment recollected, each moment a prayer that I counted before sleep. It snowed in Maine that year, but back home, our landscape was still green tinged with silver frost every morning. We held hands on the white beach, waded in slush and muck, climbed rocks, froze our rare smiles and photographs like fossils. I remember those days like the glint of moonlight flashing across your pocket knife before it pierced the lips of an oyster. With the crack of each shell, I held my breath, looking for a real pearl protected and nestled beneath the ragged shell. I had hope back then. I loved you with all the defects of a dying woman, a heart that murmurs and stalls, eyes clouded over from the morning mist of the sea. I loved you with the passion that comes from only the purest loneliness and terror. At night, I loved your body curled into me in a crooked slumber, the stale heat thawing us. I clung to you like the damp hair across your forehead, bound by sweat and nightmares. Faith squawked the way it always does, a featherless newborn bird that never grows, only gapes and feeds and shivers in the cold, insatiable. I swallowed and remained hollow, relentlessly needing. Now I look behind me, and our history is miles of black ice, stretching over our horizon for years. I slipped and skidded, and the crash knocked me out like a right hook from an invisible fist. Always I fell. Always I got up. Always I fell again. Called Curse Him, Curse Everything. I have this kind of dark theme going on, as you guys can tell. I was just telling my roommate, I haven't been paying attention to the new things I've been writing at all because I've been working on my second collection. And I've just been putting this aside, and I was talking to my roommate, and I was like, maybe I need to see a psychologist. So yeah, it's kind of dark stuff, so sorry it's not so heavy. Curse Him, Curse Everything. Only hours before, he had pored over you, and you splayed yourself on his bed, limbs like branches unfurling, blooming into spring. Your heart a molten metal, soldering to his whims. Your fingertips felt like feathers then, brushing his back, ready to lift off into flight. But now, you are you again, and you don't know what to do with you. And you don't know that in a few days he'll say he only wants to be friends. Take away the youth elixir of his lips, and you'll heft yourself home, a slow, steady march with metal limbs. Replace his potion with a bottle of gin that rocks you to sleep as you call yourself a silly girl. Call yourself a goddess. Channel powers from depths you didn't know you had. Focus on the candle's flame. Make it dance. Make it rise and fall. Put your fingers through it and not even feel it burn. Curse him. Curse everything that doesn't love you. Use your bitterness wisely. Carry the breath of old lovers in your lungs. Polish yourself daily until your leaden limbs gild, ready to be adored, aching to adorn. I'm just going to read one more. It's called Symphony of Want. 2 days later, and I'm still caressing the blue bruise you bit into my breast. You said next time you'll carve your initials into me, and I didn't object. I never leave my mark on you, trailing my lips along your earlobe, my tongue picking the lock of your rib cage. Mid-sex, we weave our fingers together, intertwine them into a tapestry of desire. Do you realize the way you hold me when you sleep? It's a death grip. Your heart bangs its rhythm on my chest like a drum. The risk of falling is not losing yourself. It's becoming the vibrating pulse in the field of need buzzing between two bodies. You sigh softly in your slumber sometimes, and when you leave, I hum your moans into my pillow, compose a symphony of want, beat it into the bedspread until it surrenders and sleep swallows me into gentler arms. Thank you.